Alright, welcome everyone to the WWE 2K25 Universe Mode Draft. We have pretty much everyone on the wheel already. I wish these... See, can I like close that? Yeah, there we go. That's better. And then can I like make this... Close ads. That's a little better. So anyway, what I'm gonna be doing is just like spinning this wheel, and then you'll see sort of like over on the right the person that will be drafted. So anyway, we're gonna be doing like XWF first, and then kind of back and forth between each brand. I did put all the tag teams as one draft pick. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. This will be for XWF. And also, if I left anyone out, I will probably check after this, but pretty sure I didn't leave anyone out. There won't be any NXT call-ups just yet. I did send Io Sky to NXT, which that should be interesting. Hang on, I need to see, was Io Sky actually an NXT Women's Champion? I'm pretty sure she was. Just so I'm not like sending her to NXT for no reason. Yeah, one time. Also NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. Interesting. Okay. So anyway, we are ready for this draft. First pick will be for XWF. So yeah, let's go ahead and spin it. And we have Eve Torres going to XWF. Let's see. And then get her off DWA. So Eve Torres going to XWF. So now we have DWA, who will be going to DWA. Street Profits. Alright. So let's see, that's Angelo Dawkins. Oh, they're already on DWA. Well, I guess they're staying on DWA then. Very interesting. Street Profits will remain on DWA. Next up, XWF's pick. We have Bianca Belair. Belair remaining on XWF. Next up, DWA, we have who? DWA will have JBL. Pretty sure some of these won't be see, this was DWA. Yeah, DWA. So from XWF to DWA, we have JBL. Next up, we have XWF's pick. Harley Quinn. XWF will get Harley Quinn. Did I take JBL off of? Yeah, okay, I did. So, back to Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn to XWF. DWA's pick. Stone Cold. I hope that isn't it. Okay. If you saw like a red line sort of like going through here, I do apologize for that. So let's see, DWA getting Stone Cold Steve Austin. Possible that Stone Cold could already be on. Interesting. Stone Cold from XWF to DWA. So now XWF's pick. XWF will get Ken Shamrock. Why is Kevin Nash still on XWF? I thought I got rid of him. Same with Scott Hall. See, let me see. Scott Hall's still on there. Also DDP. I forgot to remove him from DWA since he was retired. So Ken Shamrock. XWF. Time for DWA's pick. DWA will get KSI. Okay. That's hilarious. The prime bottle. So KSI will make his debut on DWA. Wonder if I can like scoot this over. Not really. I mean, you can see the name like right by them up there of the brand that they're on. So anyway, KSI going to DWA. Don't know what that noise was. Anyway, XWF's next pick will be BFAB. BFAB going to XWF. Next one for DWA. For DWA, we have the Hurricane. Hurricane remains on DWA. Okay. Next up for XWF. Shaquille O'Neal. Making his debut on XWF. Originally, I was going to have him debut on DWA, but whatever. XWF. Next up for DWA. DWA needs someone good. Brittany Blake. I believe she was already on DWA. Yeah, remaining on DWA, Brittany Blake. Next up for XWF. XWF gets Mario Bros. Looks like Mario Bros will remain on XWF. Just making sure. Alright, so XWF will still have Mario Bros. Next up for DWA. Kurt Angle. Let's go. Kurt Angle remains on DWA. Next up, XWF. We have Dakota Kai. Dakota will remain on XWF. And of course, Dakota, we'll have to see if Dakota teams with EO. Well, actually, EO's going to NXT, never mind. Was Dakota ever NXT champion? I don't think she was. Unless I'm mistaken. NXT Women's Tag Team Champion 2 times. Interesting. Do I want to send her to NXT? You know what? Let's do it. I'm calling it right now. Dakota Kai to NXT. So, suppose XWF will... There we go. XWF will get another pick, since I made the call on that. So to XWF, making our XWF debut, Bull Nakano. Really hope I'm saying that right. Alright, so now for DWA. We get Farouk. Alright. For XWF now. XWF will get Honky Tonk Man. DWA's next pick. I hope this doesn't like blur people. XWF will get Ray Phoenix. Wait, did I say XWF? I meant DWA. So is it F? Must be R for Ray Phoenix. Going to DWA. Next up for XWF. XWF will get Sandman. DWA's next pick. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven. Wait, we'll see. Who was the last one? Ray Phoenix, right? So, let's see, did I say XWF for this one? Let's see, there was, I believe there was 120. I'm actually gonna stop the recording real quick and see exactly what I said, because I actually don't know, so I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back. DWA will get Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Wait. Last one was Sandman. So let's see, Sandman went to XWF, so yeah. Yeah, I remember Sandman went to XWF. So Chelsea Green, Piper Niven will be DWA then. So they remain on DWA. Okay. So now XWF. Now I got worried because I opened the video up in like Windows Media Player and like the picture on the right was just like the same throughout the video, and like I got kind of worried. Anyway, Apollo Crews going to XWF. Next up for DWA. DWA will get William Regal. Alright, XWF's pick. The Miz. Miz going to XWF. DWA's next pick. DWA will get Natalia. And Natalia will remain on DWA. Back to XWF. Billy Graham. It's probably an S's. Yeah. And Superstar Billy Graham remains on XWF. Wait, Natalia. Yeah, I'm right. Alright, now DWA. DWA gets Iron Sheik. On back to the brand where he debuted on. Back to XWF. Stephanie McMahon going to XWF. Now to DWA. Ricky Steamboat. Pretty sure he's staying on DWA. Yep, staying on DWA. We have Ricky Steamboat. Back to XWF. Steiner Bros. Going to DWA. AJ Styles. And I left AJ Lee off, just since she recently debuted on XWF. So now XWF's pick. Selena Vega. Now to DWA. Yoshitatsu, which will remain on DWA. I don't even think he made his debut yet on DWA. I don't know. Anyway, back to XWF. XWF will get Omos. And he remains on XWF. Back to DWA. Austin Theory. XWF's pick. John Cena. John remains on XWF. Going to DWA. Sheamus. I believe Sheamus is on DWA. I guess there's... Never mind. Yeah, remaining on DWA. Back to XWF. Rosemary going to XWF. Back to DWA. DWA will get Great Call Lady. I had him on there anyway. Back to XWF. XWF will get... Dang, Spirit Surge. Lost quite the tag team there. Alright, back to DWA. Jake Roberts. Alright, so XWF. Seth Rollins remains on XWF. DWA. DWA gets... Oh yeah, Shrek. Now XWF's pick. Joe Hendry. And he remains on XWF. Up next, DWA's pick. DWA will get Lex Luger. XWF's pick. Jay Cargill remains on XWF. Okay. DWA's next pick. Headbangers. So let's see, Mosh and Thrasher. I mean, at least we got a tag team. So XWF up next. XWF will get Spitfire. You see, that's the team of Jody Threat. Looks like they remain on DWA. And Danny Luna. Alright, next up for DWA, I need someone good. DWA will get Stacy Keebler, okay. I believe she is on already on DWA. XWF's next pick. XWF will get Vader. Alright, DWA, we need some good people. DWA will get... DWA will have Abyss still on the roster. Next up for XWF. The System. They barely did anything on XWF. So, see, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers. Pretty sure everyone's still on XWF. Eddie Edwards and Moose. Next up for DWA. Sensational Sherry. Oh, okay. What championship belt is that she has on? Was that like the original women's championship? I don't know. Nobody needs to like tell me in the comments. Anyway, DWA gets Sensational Sherry. Next up for XWF. XWF will get Dudley Boys. Alright, DWA. DWA will get Sting and Darby Allin. Kind of returning back to the place that they started on. Where's Dean? There he is. Alright. Next up for XWF. XWF gets Motor City Machine Guns. Alright, DWA. LA Knight. Yeah. I feel like we need some more females on DWA. Currently at 30 females. Anyway, next up for XWF. XWF will get Yokozuna. Alright, back to DWA. Dang it. Rick Rude. I feel like it's happening again where I'm getting like all these legends. Alright, back to XWF. Su Young. Su Young remains on XWF. Now for DWA. Lita. Sorry if you can hear like my chair like making a weird noise. Alright, sorry I got distracted. So Lita going to DWA. Next up for XWF. Maurice. DWA's next pick. Brothers of Destruction. Next up for XWF. Pat McAfee. And he remains on XWF. DWA's next pick. Tyrese Halliburton. And he was going to debut on DWA anyway. Alright, XWF up next. Tegan Knox. My chair is like so noisy. Alright, DWA's next pick. R&R Connection, Bronson Reed and Ricochet. Alright, next up for XWF. Legado del Fantasma. See, XWF, right? And looks like all of them going to be staying on XWF. Santos and Electro Lopez. Yep, all of them remaining on XWF. DWA's next pick. Mishin. Pretty sure she's going to remain on DWA. Yep. XWF. And pretty sure OC remains on XWF. Yeah. DWA. Great Muda. And Great Muda remains on DWA. Next up for XWF. Shantae. And I believe she also remains on XWF. Next up for DWA. It's nice that we're like retaining superstars. Rob Van Dam. And I'm pretty sure he is also on DWA. We're locking down some people. Up next for XWF. Alien Warriors. See, Alien Warriors, Hikari Shida. Alright, Hikari Shida and Chris Statlander, that's right. Remain on XWF. DWA. Hope remains on DWA. Dang, 66 overall? That's insane. Yeah, I hope she can finally find her place in DWA. Anyway, next up for XWF. Got about 50 more people remaining, but we're moving quickly. Xia Li. Xia Li to XWF. Next up for DWA. Blair Davenport. Only 29 female superstars on DWA? That is very interesting. Next up for XWF. Alright, Roddy Piper, XWF. And he remains on XWF. Alright, we need some women. DWA. Next pick. Molly Holly. Ooh, do I want Mighty Molly or regular Molly? We'll just go regular for now. Anyway, up next for XWF. Dang, they got Masha. They have 37 females. I only have like 28. Alright, next up for DWA. Jalen Brunson. And he will debut on DWA. Alright, next up for XWF. Wade Barrett. DWA. Next pick. And we retain Dustin Rhodes. XWF, next pick. Looks like I'm going back to XWF. Alright, DWA. Oh yeah, we got Triple H. I'm wondering, should I even be cheering for DWA now since I'm on XWF? I don't know. Anyway, up next for XWF. XWF will get Killer Kelly. And looks like she remains on XWF. DWA's next pick. Ryu. Which I'm pretty sure hasn't even been used yet. Alright, let's go XWF. Mustafa Ali. Alright, next up for DWA. We're getting close to the end here. Pretty deadly. Let's see, Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. Alright, XWF. Harley Race. He remains on XWF. Alright, next up for DWA. Cedric Alexander. Alright. Next up, XWF. The Elegance brand going to XWF. And Maggie Lee. Wait, did I get Heather off of? Yeah, I did. Alright, next up for DWA. Bruno Sammartino. And he remains on DWA, it looks like. Next up, XWF. Macho Man. Alright, next up for DWA, we have who will be drafted. CM Punk. Next up for XWF. Yeah, so I put them as a tag team because apparently they still are a tag team. I didn't know that. I mean, like a tag team in real life. Alright, next up for DWA. Andre the Giant. And he will remain on DWA. Next up for XWF. Kishi. Alright, DWA's next pick. Ooh, New Jack. Alright, New Jack debuting on DWA. Next up for XWF. Wonder Woman. Alright, next up for DWA. Getting down to the last few. Naomi going to DWA. Alright, well, next up for XWF. They are taking the Boogeyman. And Boogeyman remains on XWF. Next up for DWA. Saya Brookside. Alright, XWF's next pick. We got the Clown. Next up, DWA's pick. Got about 22 people remaining. Terry Funk. He remains on DWA. Next up for XWF. Randy Orton. And he remains on XWF. DWA up next. DWA's getting the Heart Foundation. British Bulldog and Jim Neidhart. Alright. XWF. Tamina. Doesn't XWF have enough women wrestlers? And oh, I don't have Tamina unlocked yet. Yeah, I'm just gonna write that down just so I know. See, that was XWF. Alright. DWA. Got 18 left. Archers. Archers remains on DWA. Next up for XWF. XWF gets another women's wrestler. Next up for DWA. How many more women do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. Wow. So let's see, this is for DWA. The 5 guys remain on DWA. Brandon Collins. Who else? Aaron Matthews. Brent Oakley. Jaron Walker and Phoenix Nitro. Alright. Up next for XWF. XWF will have Umaga. Alright, next up for DWA. If I can just like get all the rest of the women for DWA, that would be great. George Steele for DWA. I believe he's already on. Yeah, already on DWA. Alright, next up for XWF. XWF will get Penta. These rosters are honestly looking kind of cool. Alright, so next up for DWA. Gianna Perazzo. Let's go. Alright, XWF. X-Pac. X-Pac remains on XWF. Alright, DWA. Down to Final 10. And Mike Santana will remain on DWA. Alright, next up for XWF. Logan Paul. Logan Paul remains on XWF. Alright, DWA. DWA gets Carmella. And looks like Carmella will remain on DWA. Up next for XWF. Gail Kim. And Gail Kim remains on XWF. They have 41 females. How many does DWA have? 25. Wow. 55 on NXT. Wow. Anyway, up next for DWA, 6 remaining. DWA will get Braun Strowman. Alright, next up for XWF. Ace Austin, Chris Bay going to XWF. Alright. DWA's next pick. Ooh, the entire bloodline on DWA. So yeah, Sami Zayn's still stuck in the bloodline even though he wants out. So let's see, Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso. Roman Reigns. And Sami. Alright, next up for XWF. Mr. Perfect. Going to XWF. DWA, it's either China or Nia Jax. DWA will get Nia Jax. And Nia will remain on DWA, looks like. So that means China, the last pick. There's China. Will be on XWF. So anyway, that is it for the draft. DWA definitely needs some NXT call-ups. Definitely. But anyway, that is it for the draft. I will see you Monday for XWF.